So this is the jump attack build powered by the Hamarhraft Great Hammer. No, not just combining these two. I'm talking about fully functioning crowd control tank. Stay tuned and let's get to the build.
So you know the Hamarhraft ability to deal thunder damage if we jump attack or just jump in general, and to make this build work and has a significant purpose, the key is 6 levels in Tempest Cleric. Yes, you heard me right. On 6 levels passive, Thunderous Strike can push his enemy whenever we deal lightning or thunder damage type from any source. And yes, in this case, from the Hamarhraft weapon ability. So as long as we toggle the passive on, it will knock enemy back when we jump. Now we take it from there, we pick up Diving Strike from Eagle Heart Barbarian, the only jump attack the game provides, so we can use it in battle. So these 3 are the core things we are focusing on. I know you'll see some spell slot there, but don't get confused, we are still raging like a real bloodthirsty barbarian. So with that out of the way, let's dive into the nitty-gritty. So first, we jump to 5 levels in Barbarian to get extra attack, reckless attack, rage, and Eagle Heart subclass to get Diving Strike. One of the most broken single target CC because it has no saves. Enemy just simply drop down prone. Well, if your attack actually hits anyway, that's why we need to turn on automatic reckless attack on the reaction tab. Diving Strike requires us to be at least 2 meters above your target, and Eagle Heart bonus action dash will get you to platforms, hills, or boxes and crates to trigger Diving Strike. We simply need crates, bunch of crates, pick up some boxes along the way, which is the lightest thing to get in your inventory. Starting our levels as Barbarian gives us the biggest HP pool to be tanky and con save proficiency when you want to concentrate on spells if you're considering not to rage at some point. On what spells will we be casting? Blast, Sanctuary, and any other good support spells we pick up from 6 cleric levels. No, seriously though, we will still be raging, and I'm aware rage prevents us from casting spells. So we are not here for the spells. 6 levels in cleric just to get Thunderous Strike feature. Like I said, enemies get pushed whenever we deal lightning or thunder damage, and that works with Hamarhraft weapon ability. Pretty sweet, right? Too bad the knockback direction is randomized no matter where the enemy is when you land. And if you don't mind having slightly lower HP, starting as Cleric gives you Wisdom saving throw proficiency, arguably the strongest saving throw in the game since the most of the deadliest spells are against Wisdom saving throw.
Okay, Barbarian spellcaster multiclass might sound a little bit too crazy, but our next multiclass holds the key of any Barbarian spellcaster build, the Warlock deck.
Pick any patron you like, but the Fiend subclass probably makes the most sense for the whole mechanic. From Warlock, we get Armor of Agathis and Hellish Rebuke to actually span our spell slots. Armor of Agathis synergizes well with Rage, Physical Resistance make it last way longer, Hellish Rebuke is the only spell you can cast while raging. So remember to trigger opportunity attacks on your turn, letting you retaliate both cold and fire damage. You can upcast both of them, either to thicken Armor of Agathis HP or to deal more retaliation damage. Speaking of retaliation damage, you also get Wrath of the Storm back from Tempest Cleric. It's a nice extra option if you don't want to spend your spell slot or if you already run out of them. Simple rule, Wrath of the Storm for melee hits, Hellish Rebuke for ranged hits. Starting off with 5 levels in Barbarian in early game, with Rage and extra attack, Barbarian outshines any other classes in the first 5 levels. Then, I prefer pick up some Cleric levels when I reach the Monastery. You get blessed for smaller fights when you don't want to spend Rage and Wrath of the Storm as your first retaliation damage. You can dip in Warlock anytime you want, but I'll stick with Cleric levels to get Thunderous Strike for some crowd control. And finally finish off with Warlock tip. And that's it for the multiclass. Let me know down below if I miss anything. Now let's get into character creation. You want your strength to be maxed out. Remember your jumping distance ties to your strength score. Might as well chuck on strength elixirs and bump your score somewhere else. Cons to be tankier or boost your wisdom saves or dex for better initiative. There is no feat affect the build significantly to me, so I will bump any ability scores I like, and alert feat will be nice. Great Weapon Master actually will hold us back because it decreases our chance to hit. crowd control first before damage. Some people like to grab athlete feet, but I don't really like it because having a decent strength and elevation already give us distance that we need to hit. Plus, you can manually drag your crates around if you need to get close. Also, avoid getting mobile feet because it'll cancel enemy opportunity attacks, which is what we want the enemy do to us. Any race will do this build just fine. Gold Dwarfs has bigger HP, or Karlak for that extra fire damage from Soul Coin. You might wanna consider building half Elithid to get the free flight feature, because flying around counts as jumping too. So as long as you have movement left on your turn, you can deal as much damage you like. Oh, I think I might just break the game. The only essential item is Hamarhraft, but I'm pretty sure you got the Speedy Light Feet free for some extra lightning damage if you dash as Eagle Heart Barbarian. Since movement speed feels crucial if you need to run around to trigger Diving Strike, might as well pick up some items related to movement. Gloves of Belligerent Skies also has a broken synergy with Fly. This is totally bullcrap. So first, get 2 of your crates out, stack them up. Also don't forget to toggle off the Hamarhraft and climb or fly on top. Then you rage and start jumping, get back to the crate and repeat the process. If some enemies feels a little bit too far, drag the boxes with you, don't drag it too close or it'll get destroyed by the shockwave. This build can fill the role of a hitter or bruiser, an initiator if you have a decent dexterity, a solid crowd control trait, and a teeny tiny bit debuffing on top. You can make the enemy prone with Diving Strike, guaranteed with no saves, and that alone is already a strong crowd control tool, again if your attacks actually land. As an initiator, pick up the most annoying enemy on the field and shut them down right from the start of the battle. Combined with the item I mentioned earlier, you also bring the buffer value to reverberation, and like tanky barbarian in general, you can end up being the last man standing in battle. I said tanky, not tanking. That's why this build leans more toward bruiser than a true tank. It doesn't really have the tools to stop enemy from hitting your party. And that's what a real tanking build does. Well, outside of killing enemies before they kill us, which honestly, this build isn't great at that either. It is tanky as a barbarian class, but not as good tanking build in general. Just a bulky, hard to hit unit in battle with a slight crowd control built in. It is not a game breaking build, but a real fun to play. Nice addition to flavor your gameplay. And that's it for the video. Let me know if you have some questions or requests. I hope this video can be insightful and you can find something to flavor your next playthrough in BG3. Thank you for those who've subscribed. See you next time.